Oke, karena sekarang udah menunjukkan pukul 7:15, kita mulai aja ya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat malam, salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Yang terhormat narasumber speech training class Mas Apriliando Eka, serta yang terhormat mahasiswa Politeknik Negeri Semarang, sebagian peserta training class yang berbahagia. Alhamdulillah, puji syukur kita panjatkan karena berkat rahmatnya kita masih bisa berkumpul untuk bersama-sama menimba ilmu dari narasumber yang luar biasa ini meskipun dilaksanakan secara online. Semoga kita tetap sehat selalu. Sebelum memulai kelas pada malam hari ini, marilah kita berdoa. Berdoa mulai. Terima kasih. Selanjutnya kita akan mengikuti kelas speech oleh Mas Apriliando. Untuk Mas Apriliando, dipersilahkan. Halo Mas Ando.
Cek, halo. Videonya belum ya?
Udah dengar.
Udah dengar. Bisa langsung di slideshow aja.
Ya.
Alright, good evening everyone. Thank you for being here in our second meeting in public speaking class, even if we're doing it online. I'm so happy for your excitement and attendance for today. I know it's kind of difficult to be attending this kind of online class, especially when it's around 7 p.m. But thankfully, you guys are making your own way here. So thank you for being here. And today we're going to discuss some materials that I consider one of the best things that you're going to do when you are performing speech or any kind of public speaking. So here, for our today's discussion, we are going to discuss how to present an outstanding speech by Apriliando. So here we are going to do that. Some of us will understand that it's not going to be easy when we're going to present in front of public, especially when we have the audience to listen to our speech. And here I'm going to give you the tricks how to manage those things. We can continue to the next slide. So here I'm already preparing you for the tips in performing speech. And as we all know that we already discussed the types of speech from the special occasion, oratory, then demonstration, or even public address. And here, the most important stuff that we need to prepare when we are going to perform our speech, the first is the content, and the second is our vocal, while the third one is the gesture that we are applying when we are performing our speech. And as for the content here, I'm going to discuss how we are going to arrange the content so we can make the speech in the best form. While the vocal is something that we need to practice from our inner ability. I mean, like your voice. And the next one is the gesture. This is how you are going to act when you are performing your speech. We can continue to the next slide. And for the content, I already prepared 3 most vital points that you have to understand if you are going to create a content, whether it's a spatial occasion, demonstrative, oratory, or even public address. These 3 are the most important parts that you need to arrange when you're making the content. The first one is the opening. The second one is the content, while the last one that we need to consider to be our best content is the closing. And here about the opening, this one is the most, well, I'm not saying the most, but it can be one of the most attractive points. So when you're doing the opening, it means that you have the first seconds to attract and impress your audience. And here you are doing all the best that you can. So you're saying the proper opening. Well, I don't know if I already told this to you regarding the how to perform the good opening, but in my opinion, when we are performing in speech, whether it's all of types of the speech that we already discussed, the opening must be vital. I mean, we're not saying that something like good morning, good evening, and addressing someone is not good. No, but that's good. But it's kind of yesterday. It's too yesterday. But now we're going to improve our speech. Where we're doing the opening, we can open our speech with some facts or data or some kind of background story that really relates to our main topic for the discussion. Well, the openings should be contained with, well, not so long. I mean, 30% of the entire content. It's the most liquid opening that we are going to do. I mean, the opening, you are performing the first seconds in your audience in order to attract their attention and impress them. Of course, after you have your audience attention, you have to deliver your content. It's the most well, it's of course it's a content, the content on the content. It means that we are saying our content, the point that we are going to deliberating. I mean, like, is it going to be valid or something? So the content means that this is the point that you are going to express. For the spatial occasion, the content in here means that some kind of story. I mean, maybe it's wedding, birthday, or a wedding night or anything. You are saying the content. In here, the content means that you're saying it in the way that it's going to be a good event, while if you were creating a content for the oratory or public address, it means that you are creating the content with a strong points. I mean, from the definition and the problem of the issue and the other solution that you can provide for your audience. While for the demonstrative speech, just like what I do right now, is that you are doing the content with the table of content. So you are preparing the content organized, and of course, your audience can see your points with your medium. We can say that PowerPoint or banner or even paper or anything that you choose. I believe that you already get another knowledge and experience from the other speakers from this kind of public speaking class. While you're performing the content, make sure you are doing it based on the content that you're making. In here, I'm saying it means that if the content is a happy situation, you are doing the happy voice and the happy expression. Well, if you are doing oratory or public speaking, you are doing it in more tense and emotional. I mean, with a little enraging emotion that you are performing. While the less in this content is closing. When we are arranging the closing in here, we are making it simple, but as long as we collect all of the points that we have in here, the main points of the closing is the conclusion of the entire content that you have from the content, not the opening. And you can offer the other suggestion from you. And for me, if you're going to perform in some speech, you need to add some quotes on the closing, so it will make your PowerPoint or even your speech way more better. Now we can continue to our next step on the performing tips that I'm going to give you. All right, the next content that I'm going to discuss is the vocal. This one is one of the most vital. I mean, every point in here is vital, but vocal is something else. I mean, you have the content. The content means that you have the other external or outside factor that you have. But vocal is something that you need to learn inside you. I mean, vocal means that you are doing your presentation, speech, or any kind of public speaking with your voice. In here, voice means that you are using your voice in every kind of expression. The first thing that we need to understand regarding the vocal is the articulation. Articulation means that you're doing your vocal in the most clear and explainable words. I mean, you have to pay attention on A, I, U, E, O, and every word that you're saying must be clear. So we can say that our presentation is understandable to our audience. And the other part of the vocal that we need to understand is the intonation. I'm sorry if you hear it's raining outside. And the intonation that I'm going to discuss in here, the first one is speech rate and the volume, and the last is the pitch. So here's the most tricky one. I mean, when you're expressing or saying something in your speech, sometimes you have to use your emotion. Of course, you're using your emotion, especially when you're doing the special occasion or the oratory and public address speech. Here, the intonation means everything. So when you're addressing something, when you're expressing your points in the speech, intonation is one of the things that you need to be taken care of. I mean, the speech rate, the way you are um, saying your words in the sentence by sentence, you need to understand that it should be faster in the sentence. It should be slower in the sentence. It should be in the right prestigious speech rate. I mean, for the instance, I'm saying that we can say the speech rate in the normal speech rate. That's the normal speech rate. But sometimes you are saying things in the slow speech rate, just like what I already did a few seconds ago. And sometimes the other speech rate that we are going to express it depends on the situation and the content that we are expressing. While regarding the volume, it's a little bit difficult because volume is what you have in your voice. I mean, I have a strong and loud volume. It means that I can use this volume and this voice that I have in order to reach out my audience. But if you have a small and low volume, that's fine. You need to make sure that your small and low volume should be used in the good way. In here means that when you have the small kind of volume voice types, you can say things in the way of other persona. I mean, there are three parts of the intonation in here, but the volume, you should use the pitch. I mean, you're saying the volume, even your volume is low and small, but you're saying it in the right pitch. You can have your voice louder than before. I mean, let's say that I'm using the pitch in here. So you're listening my voice and I'm doing the speech in my pitch in here with this rate. I mean, my voice is in here, but sometimes I'm doing my voice with the pitch underneath my throat. This one is I'm doing the pitch in this rate. I'm doing in here. But other way, I'm doing it in here around my cheek. It means that I'm doing it in the way better intonation. But sometimes you have to understand that we are doing some kind of sentences are louder and way more intense. We're doing the speech in here above our head, but sometimes we're doing it on cheek and this way. So we need to understand. It's a little bit tricky, of course, I can tell you, but if we combined all of these 3 points, I mean, the speech rate, the volume, the pitch of intonation that you are going to say, I believe that your speech is going to be way better than before. Because as I already told you, that the vocal is something that you already have, but you can practice it with a good guidance and a good proper practice. Of course, your vocal voice will be way much better than before, because there are a lot of things that we need to understand when we're going to present our speech. I mean, for instance, for some people, they're doing some kind of exercise. I mean, they do I, U, E, O, and everything that they do, so they have a louder volume of their voice, and they can reach higher pitch. Jadinya kalau misalkan nanti kalian menggunakan intonasi itu, jadi itu kuncinya buat intonasi itu tiga, speech rate, volume, dan juga pitch. Jadi kalian kalau bisa mengkombinasikan ketiga ini, saya rasa nanti volume suara yang kalian keluarkan jauh akan lebih besar dan juga lantang, dan pitch yang kalian keluarkan nanti bisa di situasi pitch di sini atau mungkin lebih tinggi dan paling tinggi yang di atas kepala seperti yang saya contohkan tadi. So in here that we have to combine all of these 3 points in the intonation, so you guys will do the speech in the way much better vocal. Jadinya tidak hanya di situ. Kalau articulation itu kejelasan, suaramu ki jelas atau enggak kalau misalkan didengarkan, but the intonation adalah nadanya, how you harmonizing on the speech, you're doing it in a good way or way much better. Dan tergantung dari konten yang akan kita buat juga, yang akan kita presentasikan, apakah itu konten yang happy, or even it's a sad, or even it's emotional and raging anger. Jadi kita harus perhatikan the vocal in here. Karena vocal di sini akan menentukan apakah speech kita ini akan menjadi speech yang informative one, just like what I'm presenting right now, or even some kind of oratory that you are expressing your points and you're saying that it's right, it's wrong, and blah blah blah. It means that you're using another point of speech in the intonation of the speech. I mean, it's a little bit tricky, but I believe with the right guidance and the proper practices, you guys can master the vocal. Karena jujur aja kalau masalah vokal ini, aku pun dulu sebelum kompetisi selalu latihan kayak vokal di perut, vokal di dada, dan juga the way that I articulate and organize my circulation of breath. Jadi kayak sirkulasi pernapasan pun juga harus diperhatikan di sini. Jadi kalian tidak semerta-merta kayak ngomong bla 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 and bla 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 dengan nada dan intonasi yang sudah seperti yang aku sampaikan. Tapi kan juga ngatur napas juga gitu loh. Kadang-kadang kalau di situasi yang serius dan intens, kita memang butuh suara yang lebih vocal and thick gitu. Maksudnya lebih keras dan juga rendah, karena kalian kan ingin menekan poin itu. Nah, kadang-kadang untuk orang yang suaranya rada cempreng dan tinggi, itu mereka malah disarankan untuk merokok, karena aku tahu beberapa public speaker mereka itu disuruh merokok sama mentornya mereka. Ini cara yang tidak baik sebenarnya. Untuk menggunakan suara mereka jadi lebih tense dan berat gitu kan. Jadi mereka disuruh untuk merokok dulu selagi mereka dalam proses kayak latihan gitu. So they're smoking in order to make their volume louder and reach the lower pitch. Jadi mereka untuk menjangkau pitch yang lebih rendah dan volume yang lebih lantang, kadang-kadang they do some kind of sacrifices that I don't know, it's kind of outrageous sometimes, kayak kelewatan aja, tapi itu kan pilihan juga. Tapi kalau aku bersyukurnya karena mungkin I have a good and wide vocal range, the pitch dan volumenya juga, jadi I don't need to do those kind of thing even if they are asking me. Dan juga kadang-kadang kayak lari dulu, teriak-teriak IOEO in order to make our vocal way much better. Itu perlu digunakan, tapi semua itu tergantung dengan orang-orang yang melatih kalian, maksudnya your mentor or even you, bahkan kamu yang punya cara sendiri untuk mengorganisir bagaimana supaya suara kalian itu keluar dengan lancar tanpa harus bernafas yang terengah-engah. Kadang-kadang ada orang yang speech itu sampai and it's not, I'm not saying that it's not good, but you can do way much better practices rather than out of breath under in the middle of your speech. Jadi kadang-kadang tuh aku kalau lihat orang kayak ngomong cepat, speech rate-nya tinggi, pitch-nya juga tinggi, volume-nya juga menyesuaikan. Tapi di akhir sentence mereka kayak, well, I'm saying that you need to practice on your breath circulation. Jadi kalian juga harus perhatikan napas kalian karena speech rate itu akan menentukan kayak napas kalian. Kayak di speech rate itu kalian akan menggunakan sirkulasi pernapasan kalian jauh lebih baik. And these are the explanation regarding the vocal that I'm already giving to all of you. And we can continue to our next slide. The next slide is the gesture. Stop one by one. Thank you so much. The first one is the expression that we are expressing through our facial features. In here, we are expressing our facial expression. Jadinya, when we're doing speech, it will take everything in our body from top to bottom. Kita tidak perlu tidak perlu menghindari lagi bahwa if we're doing speech, semua aspek yang ada di tubuh kita itu akan dilihat. Because everyone will pay attention on you. And the first thing that they see after your outfit and everything that you already present, itu your facial expression. Apakah your facial expression itu sangat mendukung dengan konten yang kalian akan sampaikan, or even your facial expression is way much different and it's turned upside down from the content that you're expressing. Jadi di sini, from the first point itu dari content, and then the vocal, and the next one is the gesture, this one the facial expression, itu semuanya sebenarnya saling terikat satu sama lain. Setelah kalian using the good vocal, intonation, and articulation, kalian harus mengekspresikan wajah kalian itu dengan nada dan juga konten yang sesuai dengan apa yang kalian ucapkan. So in here, when you're expressing your facial expression, kalian itu juga menunjukkan bahwa facial features yang kalian miliki itu mendukung poin yang kalian sampaikan. Contohnya kayak I'm doing the happy one and facial expression. So I'm doing this way because I consider that this presentation in order to make you guys understand and it will be as informative as I can explain. Kecuali kalau kalian ingin using the facial expression yang lebih intens, yang lebih tegang, itu biasanya kalian akan gunakan di oratory or even public address. Itu pun tergantung dengan temanya mereka. Whether you're agreeing or disagreeing to the current issue that you already have. Jadinya kadang-kadang kalau misalkan you already know the content, kayak kalian menyampaikan konten kalian, tapi kalian tidak menggunakan facial expression, sama aja kayak, it's something missing, gitu loh. Walaupun you have a good vocal voice and you have a strong liquid content, tapi facial expression that you have is not supporting, I don't know what to say. It's like sama aja kalian kalau naik sepeda tapi yang genjot kaki kanan aja itu. Ya itu tetap bisa jalan kan sepedanya, tapi ya let's say that you're not working properly. And that's about the facial expression that I'm going to present. And the next one, please. Nah, this one is posture. I know everyone has different posture features. I mean, they have strong and straight elbow, this one, and of course the soldier. It could present that someone is doing the gesture in a way confidence or they're shy. Sometimes when people presenting something, I don't know whether it's a public speaking presentation or even guiding some kind of event, we can see that someone is confident through their posture. Here, the right posture that you can say is in the middle one. It means that you are balancing your posture up straight from this soldier until your feet. But the poor postures that I already display in here, maksudnya kalian itu kadang-kadang kalau misalkan ingin presenting something, posture itu juga perlu diperhatikan. Kadang-kadang ada orang yang kayak gini tuh, itu menandakan dia malu dan tertekan oleh audiens yang dia hadapi. Atau mungkin the other factor that I can say is that they are not prepared and they don't really master the content that they are going to present. Jadinya kalau kalian ingin present something, walaupun kalau ini it's my personal tip. Jadi personal tip aku, gesturnya itu tetap stand still, up balance, up straight balance. Maksudnya itu kadang-kadang kalau kita speech itu bakalannya lupa. Maksudnya aku bukan kayak ngomongin lupa, tapi kadang-kadang ada blank. Kadang-kadang aku juga kalau speech itu whether it's a competition or even simply presenting something, kadang-kadang kayak waktu aku blank, posture yang aku gunakan aku nggak langsung kayak panik gitu. No, I'm doing the stand still up straight balance posture. Tapi aku gunakan kayak kata-kata yang ya kayak I'm saying that it's a small talk atau mungkin kita bisa katakan basa-basi. Aku kasih basa-basi selagi basa-basi itu masih berhubungan dengan materi yang aku sampaikan. Jadi di antara gap dari blank ini, aku masukkan itu. Ya ini membuang waktu. But in the other hand, it helped me through the entire process. Maksudnya, audience kita kan nggak tahu konten yang kita susun. Konten yang kita susun cuma kita aja yang tahu. Jadi kalau kita salah, kalau kita blank, kita terpaku sama konten, mereka pun sebenarnya nggak tahu. Our audiences, they don't know the content that we're going to present. Makanya sebisa mungkin, kalian kalau presenting something, whether it's your class presentation or even anything in particular, especially for public speaking, kalian itu gunakan yang posture tetap tegak, tapi the way you're expressing your words through vocal itu jangan sampai ke stop, jangan sampai berhenti. Mungkin kalian bisa gunakan or something karena itu ya it's hard. I even do this sometimes the and things. But tapi kalian jangan gunakan sampai don't click your tongue. Maksudnya kayak itu it's not a good gesture for you to express. Maksudnya kadang-kadang walaupun kita nggak nyadar itu lebih baik dikurangi dan kalau bisa dihilangkan. I'm practicing way harder untuk ngilangin itu kadang-kadang. Soalnya kalau di akhir kalimat aku suka gitu. And it's hard for me to remove that through the entire process. And after we have the good posture, kita akan dinilai oleh audience kita menguasai, kita confidence, dan kita attractive through the content. I'm not saying that the posture or the facial features is good. No, it's the content and vocal and the gesture that you have. I'm not saying you have to be pretty or handsome or even good looking. No, it's way different than that. You can master your speech through your speech, the content, the vocal expression, and the gesture. And of course, the other tip that I can give you is that you are wearing the proper dress. I mean, itu tergantung situation kalian. Kalian pakai baju yang sesuai dengan keadaan kalian. Bukan keadaan dalam artian keadaan speech-nya itu seperti apa. Kalau ini wedding atau birthday, ya udah, you're put on some fancy and I'm saying like kayak yang sedikit lebih kelasnya ditingkatkan, maksudnya kadang-kadang kalian bisa pakai jas or even blazer. No, not blazer, I mean dress for girls. Nah kalau kalian di acara seperti, tapi kalian kalau di acara yang formal seperti meeting di demonstrative speech, ya udah kalian gunain yang sopan seperti yang ada di display ini, pakai hem and celana bahan dan juga sepatu pantofel. It already present a good way. Dan juga kalian pemilihan warna itu penting. So when you are dressed on some occasion, especially you were going to present something, usahakan warna yang kalian pakai itu tidak padang banget gitu, tidak terlalu mencolok, tapi gunakan warna itu yang ini kalau saran dari aku sih, dan beberapa orang pun juga yang public speaker pun mereka juga mengiyakan, mereka juga menggunakan hal ini. Jadi kalau when you're dressing in some occasions, gunakan warna yang tone-nya itu tidak terlalu mencolok. Kalaupun itu merah ya, merahnya yang kalem dan juga dibanding dengan warna-warna lain. I mean, you can do the research about the color on fashion. Jadinya hal ini pun juga sebenarnya perlu dipelajari karena nggak sembarangan kalian put on some dress, terutama yang buat yang perempuan-perempuan ini. So you have to understand that kalian kalau misalkan berkerudung, kerudung kalian itu sesuaikan dengan dress kalian, terus dan juga bawahan kalian. Dan ini pun sedikit tips juga dari teman aku yang dia pakai kerudung, dan kerudung itu kan sebenarnya banyak banget kan. I'm sorry it's out of the topic, but it's important for me to say to you all. Kadang-kadang kan kerudung kan modelnya beda-beda. Ada yang apalah itu kalian bisa tahu sendiri. Nah, dari model kerudung itu, apakah model kerudung itu tuh mengelevate your facial feature, maksudnya dari wajah kalian itu terlihat semakin cakep, maksudnya terlihat semakin cakep dan kalian semakin pede dengan pola kerudung itu, atau mungkin kalian ngerasa kayak something is missing. Nah, setelah kalian cocok sama the pattern of the kerudung yang kalian pakai, kerudungnya itu buat disesuaikan sama pakaiannya. I mean, if you were wearing red veil, red hijab, dan baju kalian kuning, mohon maaf, kalian nanti malah jadi kayak traffic light gitu. Jadi kayak disesuaikan aja. Dan buat cowok-cowok ini, kalau kalian ingin present something, make sure that you guys have a proper and neat hair. Jadi rambut kalian rapi, tidak perlu harus dipotong sampai terlihat seperti formal look, itu tidak perlu sebenarnya. Tapi kalau buat cowok itu yang penting rambutnya rapi. Maksudnya rapi dan presentable. Tidak harus dikasih wax, tidak harus dikasih pomade or anything. No, you don't have to. Yang penting kalian kalaupun kalian gondrong, ini tips juga sih. Aku pernah dapat orang saingan waktu di lomba tuh dia gondrong, rambutnya segini. Tak kira dia kayak apa namanya pembimbing gitu kan, because the way he dress itu seperti kayak dosen, maksudnya kayak pembimbing gitu. Terus aku tanya dari mana, terus dia bilang dari mana ya, Pangkajen or something sounds like that. Itu dia bagus sekali the way he put on his hair feature, maksudnya dia rambutnya kan rada belah seperti belah tengah itu kan. So dia kasih ke belakang dan telinganya itu kelihatan. Jadi kayak dia terlihat bersih sekali walaupun dia itu gondrong. Kayak adus lah, karena not everyone, maksudnya nggak semua orang yang rambutnya gondrong itu bisa terlihat rapi gitu. If you know what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not saying that you are gondrong, the gondrong style is bad. No, gondrong itu keren, tergantung kalau kalian bisa men-stylenya ini in the way much better way. Itu buat the other feature yang ada di kepala dan juga posture kalian that you need to understand. Jadi actually when you're presenting something, tidak hanya vocal, terus content and the facial expression, but you already to consider the entire body dari up to toe, from your head to toe, dari atas kepala, ujung rambut sampai ujung kaki. Jadi kalian you need to understand that public speaking is an entire full package. Jadi public speaking itu baik dia newscasting, storytelling, speech, or even debate, it's a full package itu. Jadi full package-nya ya dari look-nya, dari vocalnya, dari gesture-nya, dan juga dari kontennya itu harus benar-benar mendukung dengan apa yang mereka sampaikan. So this way, kamu tuh tidak serta-merta membawakan poin in the point that you're expressing, but you already representing yourself. Jadi kalian juga menunjukkan bahwa diri kalian itu seperti ini in the professional good way. I mean, maksudnya kayak lebih kayak profesional aja gitu loh. Terutama kalau di lingkungan kampus ini kan kalian juga bakal sering melakukan presentasi ya, whether you're in class or anything. Misalkan kalau kalian present something ya, choose one of your best outfit. Tidak harus yang mencolok, tidak harus pakai kalung, tidak harus pakai makeup, tidak harus pakai apa, no, but you have to put it in the proper fit. Maksudnya yang sesuai dan kalau bisa lebih bagus gitu loh. Because we're doing a lot of presentation in our campus. And we can continue to the next step. Besides the facial expression and posture, the other gesture that we need to understand is our movement, body movement. It means that we are using our hands, our head, our body, our feet, and the stage in the same and proper way. It means that kalian menggunakan pergerakan tangan, terus kalian menggunakan eye contact-nya diperbanyak dari seluruh audience yang kalian miliki, dan juga kalian menguasai panggung. In here that I'm not saying that you have to stand still. Ya memang aku bilang stand still dari tadi. Maksudnya kayak berdiri dengan tegap dan juga gimana ya, kayak berdiri dengan proper. But sometimes you need to take over the stage. Maksudnya kalian kayak berjalan satu langkah, dua langkah, kalian. Tapi jangan banyak langkah. Kalian ini kan mau speech, bukan mau apa namanya kayak I don't know, your speech not doing a lot of movement. Maksudnya kalian jalan kaki, it's okay kayak jalan ke sana terus ke sini terus kembali. Tapi by the end of the presentation and your speech, kalian harus kembali di tempat kalian berawal. So you are going back in the place and the spot that you started your speech. Jadi di sini movement itu meliputi gerak wajah. Maksudnya kalau facial expression itu yang kalian buat, tapi kalau yang movement itu yang kalian lakukan in this way, and of course kalian juga gunakan tangan kalian in the way that you're expressing, dan aku rasa jangan terlalu banyak juga, seperlunya. Kalaupun kalian tidak bisa mengontrol kayak apalagi yang oratory and of course the public address, kalian akan you're going to do a lot of hand movement, dan itu kalau aku sarankan itu kalau tangan kalian ditaruh di kayak di sini gitu loh, maksudnya di salah satu kayak ditempelin gitu, jangan kayak biar gelantung itu, no, kayak ditempelin di paha atau mungkin di salah satu kancing yang ada di outfit kalian. Jangan dimasukin ke kantong tangannya. Itu terkesan I don't know, arrogant kalau kalian bicara di depan umum. Kalau kalian masukin tangan ini di saku itu akan terkesan arogan. Nah, if you're going to do the movement, perhatikan juga bagaimana kalian berdiri. Jadi walaupun posturnya stand still, berdiri yang aku maksud di sini, contohnya ini kaki kalian. Maksudnya ini kaki kalian. Let's say that ini kaki kalian. Nah, untuk cowok itu kalian berdirinya sejembar ini, selebar ini, selebar pundak kalian. Jangan terlalu lebar, jangan terlalu rapat. So the feet must be as wide as your shoulder, ya kan? Kayak selebar apa namanya pundak kalian. Sedangkan untuk yang perempuan, kalian bisa gunakan ini. Inilah, kayak di ini kaki kanan, kaki kiri terus kayak disilangin dikit. Tapi jangan terlalu silang ataupun this way ya. Secukupnya aja, jadi kayak salah satu maju dan itu akan menunjukkan curve posture kalian. Jadi kalau khusus buat cewek itu kalian nggak berdiri stand still gini, tapi kalian kayak lebih ke this one. Sedangkan this one atau this one senyamannya kalian. Buat cowok gini, terus bisa gini, tergantung movement yang kalian pilih, terus bisa jalan, bisa kemana, it's all by your choice. Tapi untuk yang posture and gesture about the movement, itu memang harus kayak gini cowoknya. Kalau cewek bisa gini, tergantung. Dan tangannya pun kayak harus, bukannya harus sih, lebih kayak nempel aja di salah satu bagian tubuh, daripada tangan kalian itu kayak bergelantungan yang nggak ada pegangan. I'm saying that you need to understand sometimes hal itu tuh kadang-kadang membuat orang risih gitu loh, kayak tangan kalian yang tidak maksudnya kayak bergelantung terus nggak, maksudnya it's not in the proper hand movement, atau mungkin kaki kalian yang berdiri. Kadang-kadang aku sering banget lihat kayak orang speech ataupun presenting something tuh gini, ini kakinya itu kayak gini, jadi dia berdiri di salah satu kakinya kayak gini gitu lah. Jadi kalau yang normal kan kayak gini. Jadi kayak dia yang satu kayak diginiin kakinya. Well, itu sebenarnya kayak gimana ya, if I'm saying that it's not really good posture gitu loh. Tapi lebih baik yang gini, karena kayak gini tuh kayak kesannya dia kayak kayak gini gitu loh nanti jadinya posturnya. Enggak yang gini. Gitu kan? So, we can continue to our next slide. As well as I can tell you regarding today's discussion, we already have a lot of materials that I'm performing to you, and I believe that we can do the speech in the way that I'm already saying to you. And as of course, Oprah Winfrey once said that luck is a matter of preparation meeting opportunity. I'm Apriliando Eka. If you have any question regarding the presentation for today, please kindly ask. Oke, kalau misalnya ada yang tanya sebelum kita masuk ke demo nanti.
Ada mau tanyain nggak?
Oh ya, sembari ada yang mau bertanya itu kan, the last meeting, aku minta tolong salah satu dan lebih, salah satu, salah dua, salah tiga dari kalian untuk mempersiapkan speech, gitu kan. Aku sengaja ngasih speech-nya di Hamin berapa, karena aku pingin kalian fokus cuma di hari itu aja. Kalau aku misalkan kasih di hari waktu kita setelah discussion, aku takutnya malah satu akan mengganggu kuliah and things that you guys are doing, atau mungkin itu akan distract dari hal-hal yang kalian lakukan. Jadi sengaja aku kasih mepet biar mepetnya ini fokus gitu loh. Karena aku sendiri orangnya lebih sering ngerjain sesuatu tuh yang mepet daripada yang long term deadline. Jadi kalau kalian ada pertanyaan atau mungkin salah satu dan salah berapa dari kalian bisa langsung present, akan lebih baik lagi. Silahkan.
Ada yang mau tanyain dulu nggak? Kayaknya nggak ada deh. Atau langsung mau demo aja?
Ya, oke. Siapa yang mau demo? Kita akan lihat contoh secara langsung.
Aku mau, Kak.
Oh, silahkan. Please on the camera. Thank you so much for being the volunteer. Hanin, yeah, I remember you.
Kak, ini kan aku demonstration speech, tapi aku nggak ada kayak PPT-nya gitu, Kak.
Oh, that's super fine. Kan demonstration itu kan seperti yang sudah kita bahas, demonstration ini bisa pakai media apapun. Dan tanpa media pun tidak masalah, selagi penjelasan kamu itu dimengerti oleh audience. Silahkan. The time is yours whenever you want it.
Hi everyone, I'm Hanin. I'm from Computerized Counting A. I would like to perform my speech. When I was 12, that was my first presentation to present my small project. It's about science subject to make like simple circuit electricity. I was so excited because I know that I like failed for many times and I want to succeed at the presentation. And so I asked my dad or people that I think that they were kind of like master of electricity. And I asked teacher and read books too. So that I think that I could be made that thing. And the next day is the presentation day. And I was like so excited because I know that the headmaster will come to our class, visiting our class. And she sat like behind the class with my teacher. And I present my material. I was so nervous at that time because you know that how it feels when someone important in your school that watch you to present something. It's kind of like the mixed feeling. And I finished presenting and my friend kind of like clapped over my presentation and I was so happy at the time. I'm so proud of myself because one thing that popped off my mind is I actually not that shy. I break my fear about talking in front of the class. I turn my toughness into action that I made. I have confidence because I trust in myself. So I was able to speak, to explain it how it happened, and to answer my teacher question about my project. So what's confidence? According to psychology today, confidence is belief in oneself, the conviction that one has the ability to meet life challenges and to succeed. and the willingness to act accordingly. Being confident requires a realistic sense of one's capabilities and feeling secure in knowledge. Confidence is actually not an innate or like born with, but it can be trained or it can be taught by practicing. As simple as when we try to jump in other conversation or kind of like to trust in ourselves that we can make it. The key point of being confident is practicing. It's kind of useless thing if we just take advice from others, but we didn't manage it to practice it. And the main point of confidence is trust ourselves. Each of us often like tap our capabilities and give up before we start. We're kind of like, am I enough? I'm not worthy. I'm useless, and any other negative thing. Actually, we made our obstacle before we start. Trust yourself, you've survived a lot, and you will survive whatever is coming, Robert Joe once said. Trust yourself and give your best. I know it will be hard at first. Maybe you'll stop yourself and you will feel so nervous. But I'm sure you will be fine and you will be like relief and it will help you to survive. I found interesting quotes. It's from Beyonce. Beyonce once said, "The most alluring thing a woman can have is confidence." Couldn't more agree with this statement. I think when a girl dares to speak in public with their mind, it's kind of like attractive thing, attractive side of her. It's not only for women, but everyone will be attractive if they have confidence. Speak about yourself, limiting self criticism, and other strategies can help build the emotional strength and confidence. So, how to enhance the confidence in ourselves? First, be positive. We don't have to be so hard on ourselves, like, what will they think about my performance? No, you can say that. You shouldn't be negative to yourself. Rather than doing so, you better practice it. Say that you're doing best, and you'll fix the things that makes you feel guilty, and you should be your number one fans, so that you will get motivated to do better in the future. It's okay sometimes to feel bad. Just feel the emotion, then you gotta get up to prepare. Second, to criticism properly. Most people see critic as a threat, but I think we need critic to our result. Performance, especially critic that put us, that will make us improve. It can help you to fix the fault or your lack about something so that you can develop your performance and you'll get motivated. Three, look for catalysts. It can be from our loved one like family, past friend, as simple as when they send like short message like, you can do it friends, or when they come to your performance or the competition that you attend to support you. The last is take a chance. Being involved in competition, dare to present in front of class, speak opinion. One thing for sure is you need to be well prepared. So the last thing is I urge you guys to dare to speak and be confident in any way. Don't be afraid. If you don't, you can ever take a step further. So be confident. Thank you for you guys' attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much. You're so welcome. I mean, that's a good presentation that you were expressing. So, tadi Harin sudah demonstrate bagaimana itu overcome the confidence and the fear that she has. Dan dia sudah menunjukkan it's a very nice speech. I'm saying that you were implementing all this stuff that we have discussed since our first meeting. Dan aku sangat senang sekali you were expressing it in a good vocal voice. Dan facial expression kamu tadi juga kelihatan. And other than that, one thing that you need to be understand yang perlu aku koreksi di sini speech rate kamu ya Hanin ya. speech
Iya,
rate kamu masih rada pelan. Your speech rate is
Iya.
too slow. At some point it's good. Di slow itu slownya bagus di bagian ngasih quote itu aku suka. Jadi speech rate-nya bagusnya di slow di situ memang karena kalian yang menyampaikan sesuatu and intonation that you have it's good, but you need to improve more, especially in the time, maksudnya pada waktu kamu masih sering kayak ada rasa takut itu, the intonation perlu kayak dikasih sedikit. Nah, tadi kalimatnya gimana yang masih kamu takut itu? Coba diulangi lagi.
Yang apa,
Terserah.
Kak?
Yang waktu awal-awal kamu masih belum pede itu.
Oh,
Coba bacakan satu kalimat. Aku
yang
contohkan nanti.
yang I turn my darkness into action.
Ya, di situ kita katakan waktu itu di situ kamu masih ekspresinya rada bahagia kan, ya lucu lah kamu dalam keadaan itu, but you're happy. Itu kamu bisa contohin seperti I turn my doubt into action. Kan beda kan, kayak gitu kan? Jadi lebih ke the voice-nya kamu sebenarnya sudah bagus. You have a good vocal volume suara kamu udah bagus. Memang perlu dilatih lagi. Kamu masih semester berapa?
1.
God, you're so young. Maksudnya masih banyak apa namanya waktunya masih lama untuk banyak sekali latihan. I mean, you're still on your first semester and you did such an incredible speech. Dan hal yang perlu aku apresiasi lagi, kamu sudah memasukkan quote dan juga data. Walaupun datanya itu cuma dari psychologist, itu tapi sudah aku apresiasi, udah bagus. Tapi kalau bisa itu lebih spesifik.
Yang angkanya
lebih,
gitu ya, Kak?
No, tidak perlu angka kayak spesifik psikologisnya apa dari mananya itu sudah.
Oh,
Itu sudah
iya.
mendukung, udah lebih kredibel daripada kamu you're saying just a simply psychologist. Dan dari keseluruhan, I really am happy that you're doing a good speech. And di sini walaupun speechnya kamu demonstratif kan, ya kan, niatnya demonstratif. Oke, demonstratifnya aku dapat itu di pertengahan. Jadi kamu lebih baiknya setelah kamu ceritain your background, itu kamu kasih kayak table of content, kayak gimana ya? Maksudnya itu kayak contohnya kamu kasih ada 3 cara. Nah, waktu di awal itu kamu sebutin 3 caranya A, B, C. Terus kamu lompat ke cara A, baru kamu jelasin A itu apa aja, A1, A2, terus B1, B2, dan selanjutnya. Jadi lebih organized. Kalau masalah kritiknya yang dari aku di organized one. Dan juga dari keseluruhan, itu I'm saying that you still need a lot of learning. Dan dari kamu yang kamu rasakan dari speech yang kamu sampaikan sendiri seperti apa? Kalau your personal feeling and your personal judgment, assessment about it.
Karena ini kayak bikinnya dadakan, jadi kayak ngerasa kurang well organized, terus sama
Good.
kayak yang tadi voice-nya juga masih harus banyak diperbaiki juga.
Bagus, bagus. Good.
Terus sama masih banyak baca tadi.
Yeah, that's fine. Dan di sini memang kalau misalkan aku tambahin lagi di beberapa words masih mispronounce juga. Beberapa itu aku dengar tadi. But that's fine karena sudah dikemas dengan baik. Dan thank you so much Hanin for sharing tonight. Dan kalau ada teman-teman yang ingin share thoughts mengenai performance-nya Hanin, kami persilahkan. Dan kalau ada orang audience lain yang ingin jadi volunteer, silahkan. Kalau ingin comment regarding Hanin, itu boleh. Kalau misalkan kalian mau jadi presenter yang speech juga lebih boleh. Silahkan.
Thanks for the feedback ya Kak Ando.
Oh, you're so welcome. It really nice for me to give it to you. So, jadi bisa lebih improving. Thank you so much, Hanin, once again. Ada lagi yang ingin express?
Ada yang mau tampil lagi nggak?
Alright. Kalau misalkan tidak ada, aku akan beri kesimpulan pada malam hari ini. So tonight we already discussed the thing that we need to understand and prepare when we are going to present our speech. And today we already have one of the most exaggerating and outstanding performance. And I'm really grateful for all of your participation and attendance for today's class. It's such a great and good ambience, and I hope that you learn something from this, so you are going to understand the point that I'm already presenting to you. And this way we already have the performance from Hanin, and that's super cool and awesome. Thank you so much for Hanin for expressing for tonight. And if you guys still have any thoughts, you can reach me out. And if there's anything that I can do, you can reach me through my social media. I'm Apriliando Eka. Thank you for your attention. See you next time.
See you. Thank you, Mas Hano.
You're so welcome.
Yang belum absen, absen dulu ya.